These are some of the words that we are going to hear in our story. So let's look at the word raised. Say raised. If you raised children, you took care of them until they grew up. Your parents or other adults raised you to say please. This is the word mark. Say mark. When you mark someone's words, you listen carefully to them. An example might be, mark my words when I tell you that you will learn a lot today. This reads scold. Scold. Say scold. If you scold, you speak in an angry way to someone who has done something wrong. Maybe you scold your dog when he gets on the furniture. Limit. Say limit. If you limit something, you keep it from getting bigger or having more of it. We may limit ourselves to one treat a day. Our picture shows a speed limit of 55. This is the word pelted. Say pelted. If you pelted something, you threw something at it and hit it. It looks like they are pelting each other with snowballs. Puny. Say puny. Something that is puny is small and weak. And our last word that we're going to learn before we listen to our story is the word clenched. Say clenched. If you clenched something, you held it tightly closed. You might clench your fist. Before we listen to our story, let's focus on our skill, which is story structure. Stories often have a similar structure. Authors organize stories in a way that will entertain readers. So you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And all of these parts will make up the story's plot. So in the beginning, you are introduced to the characters and the problem that they face. In the middle, it's a bunch of events that happen as the characters are trying to solve the problem in the story. And the end of the story tells the resolution or how the characters solved the problem. So let's listen to our story. Our story is called Old Mama Squirrel. I'm going to turn my reading highlighter on.
David Ezra Stein, Oh Mama Squirrel.
And there's our title page.
Oh Mama Squirrel had raised many babies. Mark my words, she'd say. There's no shortage of creatures that would love to snack on a baby squirrel. But it won't happen on my watch. Whenever danger approached, Mama Squirrel went into action. Chuk, 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 she'd say. Get away from my babies. Chuk, chuk, chuk. Get out of my tree. No one could scold like old Mama Squirrel. The cat or owl that ran afoul of her would slink off, looking for some easier meal. One day, while the babies were taking a nap, a nosy dog came sniffing around. Mama Squirrel clattered in the high branches. Chuk, chuk, chuk. She chattered in the low branches. Chuk, chuk, chuk. She scrabbled right side up and upside down while she scolded that dog. Chuk, chuk, chuk. This squirrel is crazy, said the dog. They must put crazy powder in the nuts around here. Help! And that takes care of that, said old Mama Squirrel. Mama Squirrel did not limit herself to known predators. She scolded kites, chuk, 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 and airplanes, chuk, chuk, chuk. She even scolded the man who came to prune the tree. Chuk, 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 and that takes care of that, said old Mama Squirrel. One afternoon, while the babies were having a scamper on a high branch, a great growling grizzly bear came to town and climbed into Mama Squirrel's tree. Mama Squirrel sprang into action. Chuk, chuk, chuk! Get out of my tree! Chuk, chuk, chuk! Get away from my babies! She clattered in the high branches and chattered in the low branches as she scolded that bear, and she pelted him with last year's nuts. Plonk. The bear was shocked, but then he laughed. Wah ha ha! Why should I listen to one puny squirrel like you? I'll eat your whole family tree. A twitch of fear went through old Mama Squirrel's whiskers. But then she clenched her jaw. Not on my watch, Buster, said old Mama Squirrel. She scooped up her babies and went to raise the alarm. Chuk, 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 by the fire escape. Chuk, 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 under the tracks. Chuk, 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 in the tops of the trees. Chuk, 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 all over the park. The grizzly was just sticking his nose into Grandpappy Squirrel's nest hole when old Mama Squirrel got back. Chuk, 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 said old Mama Squirrel. Chuk, 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 said 20 other Mama Squirrels. Chuk, 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 said 100 more Mama Squirrels. And they scolded him high and scolded him low and threw old nuts at him until he ran away and never came back. And that takes care of that, said old Mama Squirrel. The people of the town were grateful to old Mama Squirrel. They even put up a plaque on the spot where she scolded the grizzly. If you are ever in town, you should go see it. If you can get anywhere near it, chuk, chuk, chuk,